Guys, in this lesson, I want to get into something that will show you the origin of the circle of fifths and how key signatures are generated and where the keys actually come from. This involves something called tetrachords. Now, it's super useful for putting phrases together, and it'll be the topic of future videos as well because there's so much good stuff we can pull from tetrachords. This is essentially our key signatures. So we're going to start off down here in the key of C, and hopefully you'll be able to see how the sharps manifest themselves as we build these tetrachords. Tetra equals 4. So what you'll see is this grouping of 4 that will generate as I go through this business here. So let's look at this first one here. This is the C major scale. So we're going to go C, D, E, F. So you can see in that first bar, we've got 4 of those there. We've got G, A, B, C again. So in this instance, what we've done is we've gone up the full octave there. We've gone through the 7 degrees of the scale. So the root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then we're back to the root note, which is the octave. Here is where it gets interesting. The tetrachord, what happens is if we go up in these groups of 4, like this, the last 4 notes of the C major scale becomes the first 4 notes of the next key in the cycle of fifths or circle of fifths. So if you think about it, we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that note there, if we take that note, that's a G. This would be the tonic of the next key up in that circle. So we've got G, A, B, C. This would give me the key of G. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, here is where it starts to get a little bit funky. We've got to maintain that structure. For the major scale, remember, it goes tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. You could call it step, step, half step, 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 half step. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. It's completely up to you how you want to name that. And in doing so, what happens is, if we look at this between G and A, that's fine. A to B, that's fine. B to C, that's fine. We don't need to change any of these notes here at all. But we find that when we get to the F, what we have to do to get this F to go to the G by going up a half step and becoming a proper leading note. The leading note is always a half step away from the tonic. We have to raise that and we get the sharp there. So you can see there, we get that semitone. That is how this key of G has one sharp, an F sharp. I'm going to put this here and you'll see something flesh out as we go all the way through this. Right, now we've got to take these notes here. I'm going to just move them down an octave just so that it's easier to see. We're going to go D, E, F sharp. We're carrying these over, G, A, B, C, D. This now is the new tonic for this key here because we've gone from G, we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is that movement up in the circle of fifths. So maintaining this structure here, we have to raise that leading note again. We've got a D, an E, an F sharp, a G, an A, a B, a C to a D. Remember, a C to a D is a whole step. So what we need to do is sharpen that C there, and that is going to raise that up that half step we need to get a proper leading note, which you might even know as T, Do. Yeah? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, do. This next tetrachord is going to be the start of the new key. Let's just move this up here. It's going to be A, B, C, D. Let me put my relevant sharps on there. So take that C sharp across. And we can see that this is going to be the key of A major. So we've got C, G, D, A. So we go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we're just going to go off the stave here and we're just going to put a ledger line in there and put that A in there. Remember, now what I've got to do, actually, I forgot to fill this bit in. When we came up here, we realised that we have to have a C sharp here, and this will tally with the key signature method that I'm going to put a link to the video at the end of here so that you can read key signatures easily. You'll notice G major had 1 sharp. The key of D major has 2 sharps. This one here is going to have 3 sharps. It's going to include all the other sharps that we've already had before as well. So when we get to this F, we have to include that F sharp in there. But now we need a leading note, which is a half step between this 7th note here and the tonic. So we have to take the G there and we raise that. We've got A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, back to an A again. And you can see that that's generated 3 sharps. We can add that to our sequence of notes that is forming here, and this is the way we add the sharps. This is the sharps and the order that they go on in our key signatures. Okay, this is getting a little bit too far off the stave, so what I'll do is I'll just take it down an octave again. So if we go from the E here, we're going to go E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Let's just add our sharps on there that we need. F sharp, G sharp, we've got a C sharp. We know that we're going to have 4 sharps here. This is an E, so this is going to be the key of E. It's pretty simple, but we need this leading note here. We've got a D to an E. That is a whole step. We need it to be a half step for it to get that T-do thing going on there. That's where the sharp comes from. This is maintaining that major scale structure. So that means we've got another note to add to our collection. Remember, we had 3 there. Now we've got 4, and we've added the D sharp. Father Charles goes down. Do you see where this is going with this, guys? So Father Charles goes down. This is going to be for the key of B. Let's take this here and put the key there. So we've got B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and that. We've got all these notes that we need to sharpen. Now remember, we're just going up. We had 1 sharp, 2 sharps. In fact, C major, 0 sharps. Just so that you know, 5 sharps are going here. Remember, they're going to be Father Charles goes down. Father Charles goes down. We've got 4 sharps in there. We need to maintain the leading note structure here. So we're going to go from this A to a B. That's a whole step. We need to modify the A so that it scoots up and we get an A sharp. That would then lead us to this. Father Charles goes down and. Let's just take this here. We're going to drop it down an octave. So we've got an F sharp. This is going to be the key of F sharp. And we can guarantee ourselves by counting up here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. 6 sharps. You can see a right old mess on the page here. A lot of stuff that we have to read. This is why when you get your key signature like this, all the sharps are expressed at the beginning, because that's just to tell you that every time you're going to come across that note that is a sharp, so if it was like this, Father Charles, let's say, for instance, anytime we do that there, we want that C, we don't have to put the sharp next to it every time, because that would just cluster up the page and make it look really, really messy and really hard to sight read. We're going to shift this up again. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. We're going to have to add all these sharps on here. So we're going to have Father, let's go to the C sharp, sharpen that. Charles, let's go to the G. Goes, let's go to the D and sharp that. Down, we're going to go to the A and then we've got this E to an F sharp. So E to an F sharp is a whole step. We don't want that whole step. We want a half step. So take the E and that becomes an E sharp. Well, look, E sharp equals F. This is why F sharp is an awkward key to think in. We have to double think what that is there. So E sharp would sound an F. And this F sharp would sound an F sharp. Also, when you have your scales, you would only have one of one alphabet letter. You wouldn't have F and F sharp. You would only have one. So let's take this now. We've got the key here that is C sharp. It's horrible, is this? I'm going to just put this down here. This is going to be C sharp. This is probably the most useless key ever. We're going to go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Right, let's add all those on there. And we know that we're going to have 7 sharps. And let me just finish off my mnemonic. Father Charles goes down and E sharp. And on this one, we're going to have a B sharp. B sharp equals C. I nearly messed up there because as soon as I think B sharp, I just think it's C. Unless it's a specific thing that I need to look out for that it is a B sharp, then I just think of it as a C. And it's got this same problem here. But what makes it even more tricky is that we've still got this E sharp that we have to think of as an F in here as well. So let's go through this here and we'll add the sharps on. We just got all sharps on here, guys. So this is going to be a sharp as well. Oh, and that one has to be a sharp as well. Hopefully you can see why this becomes really awkward, but That is how this all works out. You can take these tetrachords further along and you will end up with double sharps and double flats, but I just want you to see how tricky it can be if you get stuck in where these come from. The easiest way to see this stuff, however, is if you look at this lesson here, and this is going to show you key signatures, and that's going to make it a little bit clearer.